Don't kill him.
Let's go, bruh.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I have been traveling the last 2 weeks. Things have been a little busy. I haven't been at home a lot, but I have a whole week at home. We do have some fun stuff coming up this coming weekend, but during the week, I have basically no plans and I'm tired after a lot of traveling. So I am dedicating this week to just kind of slowing down, letting myself enjoy the things that I enjoy. Obviously, reading. We will be doing some reading in this vlog, but some of my other favorite hobbies. I started playing a new video game last night. I have picked up The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I tried to play this game back in 2020. My skills were not there. It was way too hard for me. I did not have a good time, but I have improved on my video gaming since then. So I decided to pick it up again. I played for a really long time last night, longer than I expected, and had a lot of fun. I'll probably play some more this afternoon. I've also recently, just in the last several weeks or so, have just found myself really interested in watching old movies, like classic movies. A couple weeks ago, I watched a few black and white movies that I got on DVD from the library, and I just had the best time. So I think I want to watch another one tonight. I haven't picked one out yet, but I'll let you know what I decide. I also have really been interested in learning calligraphy and just kind of working on my handwriting. I have decent handwriting. I have a nice, cursive font that I can write in, but I wanted some more kind of stylized type fonts that I can write in for my journal. So my sister-in-law got me this calligraphy practice kit for my birthday. So I think I want to start trying to work on that today. And I don't know what else we'll get up to. Let me tell you about the potential TBR. I am in the middle of 2 books, but there's several others that I'm thinking about starting. I am reading Let Your Life Speak, Listening for the Voice of Vocation by Parker J. Palmer. This is a sort of religious self-help-ish sort of book that is on my spring TBR. I chose that with a spinner wheel. I'll link that video down below. And I'm really liking it so far. I also have just picked up Faces of Love, Hafez and the Poets of Shiraz. It's a collection of poetry from 3 different ancient Iranian poets. But I haven't gotten far and I'm still in the introduction. I think the introduction's like 80 pages or something, and it's pretty dense. So I'm just still slowly making my way through that. But it's also really interesting so far. I do have an audiobook I'm interested in starting. It's The Enchanted April by Elizabeth von Arnim. Arnhem or Armin? I don't remember the order of those letters. Something like that. You'll see it on the screen. I actually don't know a ton about this book. I know it's a classic. I'm pretty sure it's about several friends or women who end up going on a vacation to Italy during April. And that just sounds really nice to me. And it's April, so why not? I also really want to read Kairos by Jenny Erpenbach or Erpenbeck. Again, I maybe should have looked up these people's last names before I just started talking, but on brand. Let me just start yapping and we'll see what comes out. I had heard Classically Clare talking about this over on her Instagram. She is a classical pianist like me, so I love hearing her recs, especially stuff about classical music. She said this is a really good book about classical piano, classical music, and I trust her recommendations. So I had added it to my TBR, but then I was looking at it and I noticed that it is set, I think in East Berlin, or at least in Berlin during the period of time right around when the Berlin Wall came down in 89, 90, that sort of time period. And I actually just finished another book about that same time period. It was The Berlin Letters by Catherine Ray. I actually really, really enjoyed that book. And part of, I think, the reason I liked it so much is I felt like I just learned a lot about that time period. I didn't know a ton about East Berlin and what was going on with everything around the wall. Just, the basics that everybody knows. But I'm really interested in it right now. So it feels like a good time. Do a little bit of a book flight, like a topical book flight. If maybe I decide I don't want to do Kairos or just something else happens, I did, while I was gone, get a package come in. It's even bigger than the second one. In my last reading vlog, I read Words of Radiance, which is the second book in the Stormlight Archives, and I immediately ordered the 3rd and 4th off Pango, and those came in while I was gone last week. So I want to pretty quickly go into the next book in the series just because everything's still really fresh and I'm still really invested and excited about it. I'm not sure what we're actually going to end up reading, to be honest. I think we're just gonna see what we get into. We're just gonna vibe. We're gonna keep it chill. I'll just bring you along with me as I rest and have a few really nice spring days.
school now.
Really? I thought I was easy.
So did I. But you're not. Your mind awfully young, it seems to me.
Well, 30's about time to make up your mind. And I'm nothing of the sort, not Mr. Connor.
The time to make up your mind about people is never.
You're in great shape. Tell me, what did you think of my wedding present? I like my presents at least acknowledged, you know.
It was beautiful. And sweet, Tex.
So it's the next day. I definitely owe you an update from yesterday. You saw some of the stuff I got into. I am obviously now puzzling, which I wasn't even planning on, but I found a really cute puzzle at Aldi yesterday. I don't normally buy new puzzles anymore. I just redo like old ones that it's been a while, or I discovered that you can check them out from the library, and that's just a more, sustainable, cost-efficient option. But this one was so cute. I think it's Santorini. Yes, Sunlit Santorini. And it has this gold foiling on it, and it's just really pretty, and I want to do it. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna give you an update while I pick out the edges and such. Yesterday just ended up being a weird day. I don't know what to say. I was in a weird mood. I couldn't really focus. I tried to play a little bit of video games. I just kept dying. I couldn't get it together. Couldn't really focus on physical reading very much either. So I just, pivoted. I did end up starting The Enchanted April by Elizabeth von Arnim. I'll, once I'm done yapping to you, put it on and listen while I work on the puzzle. It's exactly what I want to be reading right now. It's exactly the mood I'm in. These 4 women, they don't actually know each other. They're strangers. 2 of the women see an ad in the paper saying, hey, rent out this, old Italian castle for the month of April. And they're both very conservative, traditional women. They both just feel a lot of duty and obligation to their husbands, and day in, day out, it's just I gotta make sure I do my duty and care for the poor, or what am I gonna cook for my husband for dinner tonight? And they both just really want something different out of their lives. They kind of start to plot how they can use their individual savings to rent this house. They end up bringing in 2 new women. And the point that I'm at, we've just kind of met all 4 of them. They haven't even gotten to Italy yet. But I hope that, we get some good Italian April vibes and sunshine and flowers and friendship. The setup of it is very much what we would call kind of contemporary women's fiction. It was written 100 years ago, so it's considered a classic. It's cozy, it's lighthearted, it's not requiring very much of me, so that is what I want to be reading right now. You also saw I did do some calligraphy practice yesterday afternoon. I actually felt pretty good about it. I put on some episodes of The Nanny, that's my comfort show, worked on my calligraphy. When I was doing it and looking at it in the moment, I really didn't feel like it looked very good. I was kind of disappointed with how it turned out, but then I was watching the footage back, and actually on the screen I'm like, wait, no, that looks really good. That looks like what it's supposed to look like. I need to just not insert any of my perfectionist tendencies onto this and just let myself enjoy it and have fun. I'll probably practice some more of that today, although I do really want to go get outside. It's supposed to be really nice today, so I'll do this for a little bit, and then after lunch I'll probably go to a park, try and read, or at least walk and listen to my audiobook. What else? Oh, I did last night watch a movie. I did end up picking a classic movie. I watched The Philadelphia Story. It's from 1940. It's Katharine Hepburn, Cary Grant, Jimmy Stewart. Could there be a more magical and absolutely gorgeous and talented combination of people? I will say overall, as a movie, it's not my favorite. As I've been watching these classic movies, I've noticed that a lot of times the writing on a micro level is absolutely fabulous. The dialogue is so clever and quippy and gorgeous in the individual lines, and the actors, if you're watching something like these actors, they deliver it so well. But the writing overall leaves a little bit to be desired for me. I'm not always as convinced by the stories from beginning to end or the overall character development. It was a really fun watch. Not a favorite, but really fun. Jimmy Stewart was just absolutely... I can't even explain to you how attractive he was in this movie. Just love him. I was immediately like, what other Jimmy Stewart movies can I add to this list? It's so funny. I mean, we all obviously know who he is, but I've never really thought of him as just a total hottie. I think just because I've seen It's a Wonderful Life, and that's not a very sexy movie, but no, he's He's cute. He's really cute. Any other hobby updates? I don't think so. I think I'm gonna turn you off and turn my audiobook back on and just work on this puzzle a little bit.
Very female, basically insecure. In other ways, just waiting around for that plain little band of gold. A poison can develop a cold.
I'm thinking it's time you had your dinner.
Another night, another instance of me absolutely swooning over classic movie stars. Marlon Brando is so hot in this.
I do not forget a marker.
Make that marker good, I'm gonna buzz it all over town. You're a Welsher.
Well, here we are, another day, another yap sesh. This time we're gonna close out the vlog because I needed to come out tomorrow. I'm kind of glad that I ended up extending the video longer than I had planned because I actually was able to finish some books. So now I can review a few things for you, which I didn't think I was gonna be able to do. I did end up watching another classic movie last night. I watched Guys and Dolls. I was in the mood for a musical. I thought I had seen this movie, but I think I've only ever seen the stage version. I knew the show, I knew the story really well and the music, but I think if I had seen this, I would have known because I was very taken aback by how I don't even know, striking Marlon Brando was in this movie. The movie itself was fine. Guys and Dolls has never been one of my favorite stories, especially. The music is obviously great. Story-wise, it's kind of meh, but there were some shining moments and it was fun. I actually did end up finishing Let Your Life Speak by Parker J. Palmer. It's a really short book. I knew I would finish it this week. I'm not sure I have too much more to add than I have already said about it. It's very slow. It's very thoughtful. A compassionate and compelling meditation on discovering your path in life. And I think that meditation is a great word for it. Palmer is a Quaker. Quakers tend to have a very insightful, thoughtful, meditative outlook on life that I actually really enjoy. I've always found Quakers fascinating. I've always really resonated and admired their outlook on the world. So I really enjoyed his approach through that lens in this book. It wasn't anything life-changing, which I hoped it would be, which is kind of silly. I mean, of course, books can change your life, but I feel like they just do. You can't really go in expecting something to change your life. It just kind of magically happens, at least in my experience. I'm glad that I read it. I think it'll be something I'll return to through the years. And I felt like it did give me some good encouragement in this time in my life when I'm kind of in between job stuff and wondering what's next. I also did this morning go on a pretty long walk and finish The Enchanted April. Not too much to add here either. Honestly, like I said, low stakes, Italian countryside, spring vibes. Ultimately, I didn't actually love the story. I really wanted this great female friendship story. And while there was parts of that in there, around 2/3 of the way through, the men started showing up. And honestly, like, not a single one of these men is worth even spending any time thinking about. It actually kind of really bothers me, the way that romantic relationships and men are treated in this book. I have to keep reminding myself this book was from 100 years ago, and you can't look at it through today's mindset and criticize. From what I understand about this time period through reading a variety of things is that, so this was 1920s. It wasn't necessarily common for women to adore their husbands, and it wasn't really expected that men would be entirely faithful or honest with or care that much about their wives. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like the summary at the end of this was the best that you can hope for, is that you as a wife can live in denial or ignorance of the fact that your husband doesn't actually care that much about you, but that should be enough to make you happy. Yikes. If you don't think too much into it and just let it be the vibes, then it was fine. It's definitely not one I would recommend for people wanting to read like classic set in the 1920s about, you know, kind of young people and their friendships and romantic foibles and such. I would totally recommend Nancy Mitford. I think that's part of the reason that I feel kind of meh about the book, is that I wanted it to be Nancy Mitford, but nothing is Nancy Mitford. Her writing is just so singular, and this book was nowhere near as funny or clever or off the wall as those books are. It was generally pretty sincere and straightforward and a little sentimental, which isn't necessarily my vibe. Again, the writing was good. I enjoyed the vibes. Check it off the list. Move on. Totally fine. Thanks for hanging out with me this week as I watched some movies and puzzled and worked on my calligraphy. I already feel like I've gotten better at the handwriting and the lettering, so that is exciting news. Maybe you will see it show up in some future journaling videos. I'll see y'all for a regular vlog in 2 weeks, and you'll probably, fingers crossed, get a little bit of a wrap up or something from me next week. So hit subscribe so you don't miss any of those videos. Let me know in the comments what your favorite hobbies are. What have you been up to? How are you enjoying and welcoming this spring? And I'll see y'all next time.